And we want to go even more deeply into this issue tonight, which gets little or no attention in the news media. To do that, we are joined now by Spencer Platt. He's a photographer for Getty Images and recently returned from a visit to the refugee camps in Kenya. You were at the Dadaab camp in Kenya. Give us your impressions of what you found there and what is the plight of the people like?
Well, as I've been a photojournalist for going on 15, 20 years, and I've covered situations around the world, refugee camps all throughout Africa, the Middle East, and Gaza. And I was caught off guard. I knew it was bad. I knew it was the world's biggest refugee camp. But when I got there, it was just sheer devastation. The desperation of the people, thousands of people that are lining up every day, every morning for food, for water, for medical assistance. And it was people have just kind of become resigned to their fate there, and it's just really, really sad because you have hundreds of people that are pouring into this camp on a daily basis. You have now almost 300,000 in these camps.
And does the camp represent sort of the much broader sort of political problems that are going on in the region, or is it really what's happening in Somalia and the knock-on effects for Kenya?
The effects, what's happening in Kenya because of this is extremely complex, but it's also creating more and more animosity in Kenya towards the Somali community. It's creating all sorts of tensions in the local community in the area around Dadaab.
Because it's competition for scarce resources?
Yeah, I mean, Kenya right now is going through one of their worst droughts in decades. And so they're already, especially in this extremely barren and arid region, there's already, very short of water, very short of food. And then you have, 300,000 refugees that are competing for this. So it's very tough.
Do they think that they're ever going to go home?
The people are so busy. Their days, their hours are taken up with just trying to get enough food for the day, get enough water for the day, to get medical attention, to look after a family member. That there really isn't a lot of talk about what tomorrow's going to bring. It's just getting through this day.
I mean, you work a lot in conflict photography. What do you hope that these images, what kind of impact would you like them to create? I mean, I know before we started the interview, you were talking a lot about how there is a great amount of fatigue now around conflicts.
I mean, personally, at Getty Images, I try to cover underreported stories. This is one of the stories that I, as a working journalist, I had no idea this was the world's biggest refugee camp. I read newspapers every day, and I had never heard about this. So I was kind of shocked when it was brought to my attention by Doctors Without Borders, and they told me this. And I think what I want to do is get behind the kind of headlines of the pirates, get behind the headlines. Most people, all they know about Somalia is Black Hawk Down or pirates. People in the world community need to know what's going on about Somalia. It's not to end the conflict there, to end this situation. It's not reinventing the wheel. It can be done. It's just going to take, the world global community and politicians to really focus on Somalia.
Okay, well, Spencer Platt, thank you very much, and good luck getting your images seen by a much broader audience.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.